Okay, I'll just go over my supplies here really quickly. I've got a 8x10 sheet of, this is Fluid 100 watercolor paper, 100% cotton. And I've got some washi tape, or you could get masking tape. I am going to also be using this Winsor & Newton masking fluid, which just for a little part of it. Got my Daniel Smith watercolors, I've got a palette, I've got some towel, I got my water, and we'll be probably be using some of my Princeton Neptune brushes here today. So I'm going to go ahead and start out just by taping off the main parts of my letter here, so I don't have to use a ton of masking fluid. I just prefer to do this for covering a large area. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball out. I'm going to make a letter H because our last name is Hand. Try to go as straight as I can here. And I think I'm a little crooked here. Alright, so to do I just want to make this look like more like a serif H here. I'm going to tear off a little bit of that. It's a little high. Alright, so I want to make in fact, I think I'm going to use a little bit of tape here. Alright, that'll help me get a nice straight edge here. Basically what I want to do is just use the masking fluid to just cover the little parts of this that I couldn't really form out of tape. Alright, that's about as close as I'm going to get. In fact, instead of using this, I'm actually going to use, I have a masking fluid pen. Might be a little bit easier. There we go. Alright, so however you want to mask it off, you can do it all with tape. If you use scissors, you can get a nice straight edge. I just ripped it. Use masking tape or washi tape. You could use the masking fluid. You could trace a letter template. Any way that you want to do it, just to mask it off in some way. So I'm just going to be doing all greenery around this. So I'm just going to use whatever greens I have, and I can mix them up with yellows and blues to give me some variation, but I'm just going to do a bunch of different leaves and leaf shapes. So alright, I'm just going to go ahead and just start by just getting a few greens on my palette here. I've got green gold, undersea green, it's green gold, undersea green, deep sap green, and just traditional sap green there. Those are all from Daniel Smith. And I'm using my round 8 Princeton Neptune brush here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just start with one of my greens here. Maybe I'll make some kind of more of like a eucalyptus type leaf here. And I'm just going to have it come from out of the masking of the letter, so that everything goes right up against the tape, and then we have a nice clearly defined letter after we remove our tape. So with the eucalyptus leaf, we're just going to make these kind of rounded, coming off of the stem here. And I'll just overlap my tape as I get over there. And then I'm going to flip my brush around while that paint is still wet, and I'm just going to lightly depress into the paper to make kind of an indentation that the paint will settle down into, and that will give me that veining detail that I want for my leaf. Alright, I'm going to continue and just do another bit of those leaves, and I'm going to come from this direction. And just put some of those little circle leaves here. And I am noticing I have got quite a bit of water on my brush here. I may need to pick some of that water up here in a minute. I'm just going to let my brush soak some of that up and then wipe it on my paper towel over here. Even these up here, I had a little too much water on my brush. I really do like this undersea green color from Daniel Smith because it has really nice like color separation as it dries. You get this kind of golden yellow with this brighter blue. You can kind of see the granulating effect that it gives. It's really, really neat. And as it goes on your palette too, you can see it start to separate just slightly. And it's a really pretty color. Alright, and before that dries, I'm just going to very, very lightly press into my paper to give myself a place for the paint to settle, and I'll get that veining detail. Alright, so I'm going to move on. I'm going to make some other leaves here. This is the Sap Green. I'll make maybe more of like a fern type of a leaf. I'm just going to make kind of a long skinny leaf here. And so I'm just applying more pressure as I get to the center of my leaf, and then lifting my brush as I get out to the edge. I just kind of want to mirror that down here. If I do one up here, I'd like to do one down here just to kind of balance it out. I can overlap my other leaves as well, just to really fill that in. Go ahead and do that deep sap green I have here and give me, let's see, maybe I'll come off at this side now. And just do some basic leaf shapes coming off here. And as I get close to that tape, I want to try to cover the edge of the tape so that I can have my H show through. If I leave too much white space around the tape, you won't be able to tell that it's an H. Alright, oh, I should do another one on the opposite side just to kind of balance it out. I don't need to be like even, I just, I don't want to have it be kind of lopsided, so if I do something on one side, I should also do something on the other side in the same weight. It doesn't necessarily need to be identical leaves, but I should keep with the weight of the items, or in this case, like the sizing of the leaves that I'm making. If I do some very large leaves on one side, I should try to balance that with either a cluster of equal size of small elements or one big one as well. I am actually going to switch over in my round 4 here so I can do a little bit smaller leaves. Get some more of this Undersea green here. And I'm actually going to add a little bit of indigo to it to give myself a little bit darker of a leaf. I'm going to add some little small leaves right here. You can kind of repeat the types of leaves across, just do different shades to kind of change it up a little bit. Sorry for the 4-year-old in the background getting very excited about Roblox videos. Kind of given up on having any kind of quiet time to film videos, because otherwise I will never get any videos made because my children are always awake, and when they finally decide to go to bed, I'm too tired to do any videos, and it's so dark in my house. Oh. And I have to apologize for any of the lighting here being a little bit less than I usually have. I usually have a second set of lights that overtops, and for some reason they quit working yesterday, so I'm still trying to figure out how to fix it. I think I'll make here like some longer skinny leaves kind of just coming out here with that green gold. If you don't have a green gold, you can mix just a yellow with any of your greens that you do have, or make your own to make a really yellowy green color. Just gonna do I'm just adding some little swoops out here in just random directions. I'm going to go back to that sap green. And we'll do some more smaller leaves here. Like I said, we can just overlap everything because we want to have this be nice and full and really show the letter. And here I'm making sure I kind of overlap where I put that masking fluid so that you can actually see that serifed edge that I created. And I'm trying to go over the edge of the masking tape. I'm going to go back to that Undersea green. And put some coming out here too. Just kind of overlap everything. And I got this a little bit more water to it, so it's a little bit fainter. Alright, I've got some empty space around the tops here, so I am going to, let's see, I need to bring in a little bit more of that darker, maybe that deep sap green. I guess I could have gone over back to my bigger brush. I like using this round 4 a lot. Just try to change a little bit of your shape of your leaf. And this is a fun way to practice doing lots of different types of leaves here. I can just kind of have a half a leaf coming out from behind there, pretending that that is carrying up into the H2. I'm going to mix together a little bit of that deep sap green with that green gold. Maybe do kind of a more of an oval shaped leaf here. And I'll add a little bit of detail to these too. And here I didn't have enough water, so I can actually just go back over that if you don't have, it's not wet enough. When you want to go back and add that bean detail, just add another layer of your paint over top. Or you can just do one at a time too. It's another way to make sure that you get it. A little goofy boy over there. Okay, I need something here and here. Get some more undersea green here. I'm just going to fill in a few more little areas here just to overlap. Alright, I think I've covered enough of it that I should be able to get a really nice clear H out of all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and just take off the tape very carefully. And then when I had the masking fluid, I'll use my rubber cement pickup little tool to get that up once the paint around it is all the way dry. I do just like using the washi tape, especially just because it's so light tack that it doesn't tend to really peel your paper, as some of the stronger adhesive tapes tend to do. That's not to say it doesn't ever peel your paper up, but generally speaking, it does a pretty good job. Ugh, I didn't get that other half. There we go. All right, now I'll do the fluid part. Ugh, that pen, I swear, I am not using that again. I cannot get it all off, and then it leaves a blue color in my paper. So you can see where I had that masking fluid. That does not make me very happy at all. And I thought I had a pretty good coating of it too. Now I'm just picking paint up. Okay, I am not going to sing the praises of that Molotow masking fluid pen. That is for sure. Should have just used the bottle of the masking fluid, even though it was getting all gunky. Alright, it's close enough. I'm not happy with how that happened. The blue is still showing through on that, but you get the general idea, and hopefully yours turned out a little bit better. I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad, but at least I demonstrated what not to do. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my video, despite my little fiasco here at the end. Otherwise, it did turn out really pretty, and I like the concept. I'll just have to do a little bit better on the execution, especially when I'm masking off. Perhaps I will cut out a letter H with my Cricut next time and make myself a little masking template that way. Alright, have a great day, guys.